I'm Peggy. Welcome to Love Yourself Spiritual Channel. Tonight I'm going to begin a series of a correlation between the spiritual and emotional bodies and the profound effect that they have on the physical bodies. And on a scientific level, if you understand quantum physics, it's very easy to understand how this could happen or why there would be a correlation between the things that you're experiencing emotionally and some of the physical pains that you may experience within your body. And different thoughts and feelings will have different placement in the body as far as what they will be affecting. And so we're going to start with the feet and move up towards the head. And if you understand much about the atom, then you already know, but I'm just going to explain for those who do not. Every atom in your body is made up of 99.99% energy and only 0.1% matter, or 0.001% matter. Anyway, very little matter. But what is profound about that is then to understand that your emotions or the energy that is flowing through you, through your atoms, has a very profound effect in and on what manifests physically in the 0.1%, in the very small amount of you that is matter. And so beginning with the feet, we're going to talk about different things that pain or sensations in the feet can indicate. And while talking about the feet, I also am going to incorporate the sign of Pisces, because Pisces physically on the body actually is represented by the feet or rules the feet. And also the lymphatic and joint fluids. And we will get to that later in a different section when we start doing systems. But right now we're just going to start with the physical aspects of what Pisces rules, which is the feet. And just by way of the nature of Pisces, what we understand about the energy of Pisces is that Pisces is a very porous, very receptive energy. It's going to receive things into it and take it almost sponge-like. And it's a water sign, so it naturally absorbs emotional energy, the emotions of others, and will store them. And what's really important for Pisces is to be able to ground. And when I say ground, I don't necessarily mean just grounding into the earth, but actually grounding into the energy and grounding their energy. Because in order to be stable, we have to ground that which is 99% of us, not just that which is physical. And Pisces also rules the 12th house, which is the house of illusion and mystery and the subconscious mind. So things that we suppress in the subconscious mind are ruled by Pisces. And so things that you suppress subconsciously are probably going to come out a great deal in foot discomfort or foot sensations. And those are all indicators. That is your spirit or your body communicating about things that are in your field, in your energetic field, and in your emotions. Probably one of the superpowers of Pisces is the awareness of path, awareness of life path. Being the oldest sign in the zodiac, they're the one that has walked the path. They're the one that has traveled down the path energetically. They're the oldest sign. And so when you meet a Pisces, it's always kind of an old soul energy. And a lot of people who have Pisces are referred to as the old soul, even when they're young. And so your life path and your life purpose will actually have physical manifestation within the feet. One of the really important things for Pisces or for the feet, the energy that is in your feet, is earth contact. Actually grounding into the earth and receiving energy from her and letting negative energies flow out through your feet. So even just a few minutes of putting your feet in the dirt every day, or even the snow, do whatever you have to, but getting your feet grounded in the energy of the earth, the magnetic energy there, actually helps a Pisces, or it helps anyone with foot pain to release that pain, to release that negative ions into the earth. And Pisces isn't just about groundedness, it's actually about stability within motion. So is your life path and your life purpose, being able to balance and to bring that into balance and to walk forward confidently is some of the energies that Pisces is going to offer. And so one of the things that a Pisces is always doing, because they're often depicted as the two fish swimming in opposite direction, is that they're always seeking to balance the energies and the understanding. they always have a broad understanding of what should or could be done in a situation. A lot of it has to do with their emotions, my emotions, and seeking to create a balance and make a decision and go forward. And so those are kind of some of the things that, if you have foot pain, those are energies that you maybe need to investigate to learn more about. Like in my life, where am I not in balance? Where am I not consolidated in my path forward? Where do I not feel confident about where I'm going and what I'm doing? And then some of the sensations that the feet will indicate when you have them, such as hot feet, and they indicate that the divine has a message for you. And intentionally connecting and asking to receive the message when you have hot feet is a really good way to begin to receive that information, because you can't receive what you don't ask for. And so that sensation of having hot feet, like if you sleep with your feet out of the covers a lot, that may be an indication that you need to seek what the divine might want to be wanting to offer you as far as going forward on your path. It's also a call to action to move forward, and that would be the light energy of it. The positive energy would be the hot feet indicate a call to action, a call to move forward confidently. And then kind of the dark expression of that would be an impatience or a pressure to move. It also indicates neglect of the self. If you're neglecting yourself, not self-caring, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough nutrition, not paying attention to your diet and to your body, moving your body enough, also hot feet will indicate that. It's sort of the negative expression. And so ask when you have hot feet, what is this about? What is it that I'm not seeing? And do I need to go forward? And in what way do I need to go forward? If you feel that you need more clarity, or if you feel called out that you haven't been caring for yourself, then do start caring for yourself more. Because you're always being supported by the universe all the time, and the opportunity to ground and the opportunity to ask for help is always there. And so anything that is happening in your body is always a call to understand that if you're feeling overwhelmed in some way, your support is there, and that sensations in your body are an indication for support. The heel always deals with, you have heel pain, it always deals with fear and uncertainty about what direction to take. And again, always asking for direction and always asking for clarity. If you have fearful emotions, sitting with them and allowing that emotion to come up to be fully felt. Try to stay out of the mental dialogue about it, but just feel into and lean into the emotion that's coming up. If you have fear or anxiety or something that comes up, and when you lay down at night, your heels actually hurt, that will indicate that there is some stagnant energy there that needs to be let out and needs to be released, so that you can have the wisdom that emotion is holding for you to see, because your emotions are your friends. And then on the right side, so if it's a one side of the foot, one foot is hot, one foot is in pain, one foot is uncomfortable, that is a call to embrace your masculine energy. It's a call to assert yourself firmly and move in the direction that you innately know is the direction for you to go, because Pisces is among the most intuitive of the signs. So generally, if you're having foot pain, there will be pressure from your intuition pushing on you, and you will actually innately know, especially if you connect to it and recognize that my right heel really hurts when I lay down at night. Then you'll know that you're being called forward, called to an action to take, and that's coming from the masculine side, the outgoing energy of your body. And then the left side, if you have pain in your left heel or heat only in your left foot, that's a resistance to change. And that's a resistance to being receptive. You're blocking the receptive energies. And a lot of times that will look like a negative mind loop that you're kind of stuck in. And you're being divinely guided to ground, to connect to the earth, and to release those negative energies out of yourself, to look at any emotions that are coming up. That will more indicate the fear that we were talking about in the heel pain. The left heel will actually indicate more of that. You need to become more receptive and more trusting of the divine energy maybe that's coming to guide you. So those are some of the things that you will experience spiritually that will have a physical manifestation in your feet. And I thought we'd pull a couple of cards So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so that you can see and get set up, and then I'm going to actually get the two cards in the Major Arcana, the Pisces rules, and we're going to read a little bit of their energies. Be right back. Alright, so I have everything set up, and I've selected the two Major Arcana cards, the Moon, which Pisces rules, and the Moon is the subconscious mind, those things that we hide from ourselves. That's the Moon energy. It's also your intuitive powers. And then the Hanged Man, I guess I did have it up right. The Hanged Man, which is also ruled by Pisces. And the Hanged Man is about going upside down and getting a new perspective from life, and getting a new understanding. Interesting. That deck, that it's actually pushed into the air like that. So those are the two energies that we're gonna work with, and just see what Spirit has that they might want to offer to us as far as the Moon energies, and how to work with them, and what that might indicate as far as if we're having pain or sensations in our feet, how to go and get that information, how to get that, work with our intuition, and take the things that are possibly being scared by being in the moonlight, or under the moon as we call it in tarot, and bring them out. And then the Hanged Man energy, just getting a new perspective, which always does indicate resting. Even the Hanged Man, there's almost always a tree or trees, and for me trees always indicate a need to go within, a need to meditate. So we're just going to get a 3-card downline for each of these spiritual energies, and a hidden or supporting energy from the bottom of the deck. And the hidden energy is the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is an energy of feeling. See how there's 2 cups that are spilled, but there's still three full cups, and it's always about loss of something, loss of these 2 cups, and this is Pisces energy and water energy. Both are about emotion, and so it's emotional loss in the heart space, and so possibly that's the energy that's driving you to need to go in to your intuition. Possibly you're suppressing those feelings and not going forward because of the sense of loss, and maybe you need to there's a need to go in and seek out some intuition so that you can move forward more clearly. 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords in the mental energy, and then we have the Page of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. All right, so the 3 of Swords for me is the most painful card in the tarot deck, and there it's always a heart, and the 3 swords through the heart. And for me, the 3 swords, because swords always indicate mental energy, your thoughts are your thoughts, my thoughts, and then reality. I always say reality is the most painful one of all of them, of the swords, but it's really about and it can be your own thoughts that are crossing, that are not in alignment, that are against each other. And so anytime that you have a lot of mental anguish, this is a card for me of mental anguish, because it indicates thoughts, and it did come in the mental energy of the downline. I read my downlines mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. And so when you have a lot of anguish and painful thoughts, the thing that you need to do, the Page of Pentacles, and Pentacles are earth energy, and it's always about doing some type of 3D work, some type of tangible action is going to be called to be taken, usually when Pentacle is involved. And Pages are the youthful scholar, the need to possibly go and learn a little bit more, get that information. It's a card of actively pursuing the information needed. And Pentacles are about making setting out a course of action. So an A to B, B to C, something methodical. So finding some information and then following or laying out a course of methodical action to be taken before going forward. And then The Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is fire energy. Wands are fire, which is spiritual, passionate energy. But the Three of Wands for me, especially in this placement, is a little bit of taking time. The person is looking out into the horizon, always in the Three of Wands, and it's about making a plan, planning the future, and with passion. So when there has been pain, there's always going to be an amount of time that's needed before the information of that pain, possibly the pain that you're suppressing and that you're feeling in your feet. And then understanding that a plan has to be made in order to go forward. But you're not going to be able to go forward to be patient with the going forward, even though that's a passion card. And a lot of times the fire sign energies are very impatient. But it is a card of pausing to make a plan before going forward, but then setting a course and then actively going forward. And then let's look at this Hanged Man energy. Spirit, what do you have for us about this Hanged Man? Maybe we might learn tonight. Show us a Hanged Man. And the supporting energy is the Fool. Oh. Yeah. I love the Fool. So the Hanged Man, the need to get a new perspective. And if you're standing in a place of indecision, a lot of times it's a new perspective that is going to be needed in order to move forward and to move out of the heel pain that you're experiencing. And the Fool card, I love the Fool. And the Fool is...
The upper camera switched off. So sorry.
Exuberant, excited. He's starting out on his journey. He's just setting off. And in a lot of decks, it'll show him just nonchalantly, happily walking right off of a cliff with all of his belongings. But he's very trusting. So in a supporting energy, I love the Fool because it just says that the universe is always supporting you, that you can trust. You can be the Fool. And we've got you. And so look for this new perspective and look for it with, the exuberance of a young, just starting out in the journey. And then we are often afraid of change. Change is, especially as we get older, change becomes less and less comfortable. And we need to remember that that Fool energy is always living with us, and that being excited about the journey makes the journey a whole lot more comfortable and more fun. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, feeling a little bit left out in the cold with your perspective possibly. The Three of Pentacles, need for collaboration and higher learning, and the World. Okay. So our mental energy is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is a little bit of a card of feeling left out in the cold, of not being considered. And Pentacles do indicate that there will be physical manifestations within this. It won't just be a feeling of being left out in the cold, but actually probably being left out or not considered in some way. And understanding that in every pattern, if that's a pattern that you're having with someone where you're mentally feeling like you're left out in some way or not considered in some way, always understand that you are half of the pattern. That balance, either by not putting up healthy boundaries, and possibly that's the why the Hanged Man is needed, why that new perspective is needed, is because seeing you're part of the pattern then helps you to at least be able to show up differently, expect different, decide to say to myself, I'm worthy of being seen, I'm worthy of being considered in whatever the given situation that you're in is. And then in the heart space, the Three of Pentacles. And for me, in this position, following that Five of Pentacles, work to understand your worth. Work to understand how much you are offering and how much you are giving, and that you deserve to receive as well, to not be left out in the cold. So I think there in the heart space, the Three of Pentacles always indicates the need to collaborate, so possibly, and higher learning, so possibly find someone to coach you, find someone to talk to who is supportive of you, who also maybe knows you well enough to be able to see your pattern, like a friend of yours, and be able to say, yes, you definitely in this situation need to stand up for yourself, or you need to ask to be considered more strongly because you're worth it. And if you're here, you're worth it. If you're here, you're worthy. Your worthiness has never been a question. While we don't feel worthy a lot of times in our adult life, and then because we don't feel worthy, we attract circumstances that will keep that feeling until we really stop to look at that feeling and to feel that feeling and to understand that it's not true, that we were born worthy. That 99.99% of you flowing through you, that energy is the energy of God. You couldn't be more worthy. You couldn't. And there's really nothing you can do to be unworthy. And there's nothing you can do to be more worthy. You just are worthy. It's just innate in you. And then in the spiritual energy, we have the World card. And the World card indicates that the need for this new perspective is because there's a cycle that, or a loop. Like there's always a circle on the World card, which indicates that something has continuity, that it continues to process in the same way. And when the World card comes out, it's always an indication that you either need to start a new cycle or you need to end a cycle, which really kind of goes hand in hand, because anytime that you are beginning something or ending something, if you're ending something, something's going to begin, something's going to take its place. Anytime there's an absence of something, like say a relationship, say you end a romantic relationship and then you do the work to attract better, the universe is always going to want to fill that void, to have that relationship there, because it's through our relationships, especially with other people, that we grow the most, that we learn the most. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn and to evolve, and a lot of that growth is dependent on the relationships that we have with other people, so they're very important. And I thought we would do a light of path card, kind of to go with this Piscean energy, and it talks a lot about when you talk about feet and what they indicate, there is a lot of light of path, or a lot of path that is indicated there. So let's just see what Spirit might have for us as far as a couple of oracle cards from this card, Light of Path. Anything else, Spirit, that you might want to give us tonight? And I know that change is scary. That's a lot. Okay, so we have 4 that flipped over in my hand. We're just going to go ahead and read those. I know that in my journey, when I was kind of going through my, like a lot of people call it the dark night of the soul, it was like a dark year of the soul. I just saved everything up for all at once, and then started alchemizing all of my negativity and all of my stuck energies all at one time. I waited till I was so sick I didn't really have a choice. But I do know that how scary it is to change your life path, to make a major change of direction. I know how terrifying that is. I spent the first 50 years of my life as a horse trainer, and I love it, and I'm passionate about it. And I never thought in a million years that I would ever do anything else. And yet here I am being called to do something very different. To more hands-on heal people. I've always been a channel, and I always have been a conduit through which the divine would flow information to people who are in need. And but I know that through my healing journey that I was being pushed and called to use those things that I was being taught, and the gifts that I have that I was innately born with, to take them more profoundly out of myself. And that, just being seen differently, not being seen as a horse trainer, as a horse breeder, just that was scary for me. Just to shift within myself my own perception of who I was showing up as was difficult. And so I understand how hard it is to make a major life change, to shift internally even who you perceive yourself to be. And so just understand that while your foot pain could potentially, especially if it's one heel or the other, be indicating that you have resistance to change, you're not alone. That's very natural. And even if it's a resistance to the change in the mindset that it's going to take to heal a relationship, even if that relationship is only just with you and you, which is the most profound relationship that you'll ever have, because of one person that you're going to wake up with every day and go to sleep with every night is you. So that relationship is going to be the most important relationship that you have. So even if the perspective that you're needing is just having that different relationship with you, it's a path worth taking. Okay, let's see what Spirit has for us. Oh, there's even more than I thought. This could take a minute. An instrument of divine will, number 36, which breaks down to a 9, which is wisdom. We are all instruments. Get that to focus, maybe. We're all instruments of the divine will. There is not a person that comes that doesn't have something to offer, that wasn't divinely put here to help those around us. We come to love and encourage one another. That is our main calling as humans. And not just each other, but the animals and the planet and the trees and all. They're all sentient beings. The earth is alive. This is a beautiful card. Karma. And karma isn't always bad. There's good karma also. What you put out will come back to you. The love that you put out into the universe, not expecting anything back. The love that you give to people, not really expecting anything, only wanting to uplift them. We had a barn fire in 2013, and we lost 8 horses that many of them we raised and had for many, many years and showed and loved very deeply. And people came out of the woodwork to support us. And people would tell stories. Well, at this one horse show, she came up to and said this to me, and it really helped me. And they wanted to give because I had been kind to them and I didn't expect anything. And a lot of them, until they said it, I didn't remember even having ever done that. But every karma you put out will be coming back to you. And I can tell you that that is absolutely the truth. And that people don't forget when you're kind to them. They don't forget when you're not nice to them either, but they definitely don't forget when you're kind. Mantra. I love mantras. I've said so many of them. Because they help me to change my perspective in a lot of ways. And one of the ones that helped me a lot in relationships, and a lot of it was really the relationship between myself and I. I had a lot of foot pain actually during this time now that I think about it. I was resistant to my need to not blame my partner for the toxic relationship that we were having, and not giving him my power, the power for me to be happy. But I was. And one of the mantras that I used to take my power back and to find happiness no matter what was going on around me, for me to be able to keep my emotional balance, a mantra that truly helped me was to say, if I need anyone else to change for me to be happy, I'll never be happy. I did come to be happy, and it's important that I'm happy, and so I will be happy now. And it was just long enough that I could shift the energy that I was feeling within me. And saying happy that many times does bring you out of the frustration that you're currently mentally and emotionally engaged in. And so it really did help me. If I couldn't sit with the emotion that I was having, then I would say that mantra, and sometimes I said it like hundreds of times in a day. I mean, it was just like, I made it a loop. I made it a loop that I got comfortable with saying, that helped me to shift the energy that is within me. So mantras are very helpful. When I was going through my healing journey, I said to myself, what would someone who loved themselves do right now? And I would just randomly, I even had the little mantra would come up on my phone on a timer. And the timer would say, what would someone who loved themselves do right now? And then I would stop and I imagine, what would I do right now? And every couple hours I would do that because I wanted to love myself more. Because I wanted to be able to attract to me the love that is equal to my worthiness. But if I don't love myself, then I'm not going to attract people who show me that, people who love me as well, and I won't even be able to feel it or receive it, and neither will you. And so that mantra was really helpful for me. And so whatever you're working with in life, wherever you're at, find a mantra that will help you and say it over and over, because words have power. They have energy. Redemption. Yeah. Number 22. You're never lost. There's always time to redeem your path, time to get a new perspective, to save a situation, at least within yourself. You may not be able to control others. They have to have their agency too, and we have to allow them to. But you can always redeem your energy. You can always redeem the love for yourself and service. I love this card. And not just service to others. It is profoundly healing to serve. Especially if you learn to serve yourself first. To fill up your cup first. Because then what you offer is such a pure and wonderful and joyful love when you love yourself first. So fill your cup first, service yourself first, and then offer that love out to the world around you. Love your feet. And love that because you know a little bit about foot pain, when you feel it, or you feel sensations or heat in your feet, or any of the things that we've talked about, that they're indications to love yourself, to go within, to get a new perspective, to go into the subconscious and see what is stuck there that needs to be seen and looked at. So I hope this has helped you. And if you have any questions, put in the comments. If you feel called to a personal reading or spiritual counseling, my email is in the description box. And if you would just like to browse our website for more healing information, feel free. That is also in the description box. Namaste. Be blessed.